Hey guys, welcome back. It's Claire. It is the last Saturday in April 2022, and I have had this crazy awareness that I have not started a single tomato seedling, like not one. And now I'm realizing it might be too late. And I know it's not technically too late, but I just kind of wanted to talk through my thoughts with you and what I think my plan is going to be, because some of you may be in that situation. I know I've gotten a couple of emails from people that are like, is it too late to get started? And, we're in Zone 7B, we're North Atlanta in Georgia. It's not. You just may get fruit, further down in the season than when you see everybody else getting their tomatoes. But honestly, we've had a couple of years where we were still getting tomatoes in September and October because it was so warm. So, it might feel a little bit weird to be eating a tomato sandwich in the end of September. But it's not too late. But here's what's happened to us. Last year, if you were following along, we sort of really were embracing just the wildness of the garden, and we planted 3 and 4 seedlings of like 15 different types of tomatoes, and we just got overwhelmed. We had so many tomato plants, and we had so many tomatoes, and they were all growing together and getting tangled. And we went out of town to Hilton Head, came back, they were grown. We hadn't trellised them yet. I mean, it was just really not the best way to start off our growing season. And one of the things that I quickly realized is, while I love watching all the homesteaders on YouTube and I love their channels, they've got 5 kids, and growing that type of volume works for them, or they're market gardeners and they're selling to people, and we're not doing that. We've got 2 teenagers who are very busy and very in and out of the house, and we're not selling to anybody. So initially I thought, for this year, we really just need to grow 1 tomato plant of the types of plants we really loved. So that was my initial thought, was that there's no need to have all this volume. That would have saved us just a lot of work and a lot of stress in the garden last year. And then also, last year I let everything go to seed because I was really hoping for volunteers. And that's another reason why I didn't plant a bunch of seedlings, is because in my brain, I'm expecting to have all these volunteers come up. Well, right now, from what I can see, I only have 2. I only have 2 volunteers, and I'm thinking that they're the orange cherry tomato, and we loved this tomato so much. It's called the Amy's apricot. It's very similar to the sun gold. People said they're very similar. I mean, this cherry tomato is amazing. It's great. It just popped in your mouth right out the garden, but it also makes a wonderful tomato sauce. It's great in salad. So I love that those are the volunteers coming up. But I don't think I have a single volunteer coming up that is like a Black Prince or a Cherokee Purple or a Dr. Wychee, like any of those that we really, really enjoy. So now I'm sort of feeling like this was a very calculated strategic error. So what I'm going to do today is go down to Callanwolde Arts Center, which is in downtown Atlanta. Actually, interestingly enough, Dawn and I, when we were first starting our band, the Ormwoods, had one of our very first performances there for their arts festival. It's a really cool place, but they're having an Ability Garden sale today, and handicap accessibility is super important to me. I grew up with a dad who, for a period of time, was in a wheelchair. He is now back in a wheelchair. My son's namesake is a man who lived most of his life in a wheelchair. I just feel really passionate about being able to have accessibility, and for people with all levels of health and all levels of ability to be able to live life. And so I'm not really familiar with what this organization is doing, but when I saw it come up on a Facebook group feed, I thought, you know what, I want to put that in my calendar and I want to go check it out. So I'm going to go down to Callanwolde, and I'm going to check out what this group is doing. I believe that what they've done is made raised beds at like wheelchair accessible levels so that people can garden and grow things, and they are selling tomato plants. So my heart wants me to buy some starts from them if I see something that I like, and then come back and transplant those instead of trying to start seeds, from scratch at this point. And then if we get a few volunteers that pop up from last year's seeds, then that'll be awesome, and that'll be a bonus. But I think that's kind of the plan for today. So I'm going to head down there. If they let me video at all, I will show you some pictures of that. Okay, gang, so I made it here, and I can already tell I'm so happy that I got up and drove into the city. The garden is beautiful, and I'm really hoping to get some video just to show you around. I'm going to put a link to the nonprofit group that's doing this below in case you want to learn more. I'll also link to Callanwolde Fine Arts Center if you're wanting to learn about them, because I just don't have the history to really educate you on the video, but from what I know about both groups, they're doing some really cool stuff. So I would love for you to check it out, and if you're so inspired, you can support them as well. So let's go. So here's the flyer they gave us. And again, I'll link it down below. But let's go check it out. So the Ability Garden, she said when I registered, is for people with brain and spinal injuries where they can continue gardening and all levels of ability. Isn't it so pretty? And I really love this idea of the raised beds being higher. I know that's something that Dawn and I think about a lot with just, you know, aging, right? Gardening gets harder. I mean, we get sore. Look how sweet that is. So pretty. Oh my gosh, I want to do something like this. It's like a little fairy garden. I'm gonna have to show my daughter. This just could not be sweeter. Oh, I love it so much. It's by a tree stump. Yeah.
We love the bricks so pretty. Oh. These bricks came from the original Kimball house.
It's really, really beautiful. Look how pretty their lettuces are. I mean, those are gorgeous. Really, really beautiful. Looks like that's going to be a wildflower meadow. This is just so fabulous. And there's their compost bin. You can see back there. See, we need to make our compost bin look a little bit nicer and maybe a little bit more hidden like that. They're shard. They're charred. Not shard, but charred. Looks beautiful. And I've never grown, I think these are snapdragons. I've never grown these before, but aren't they lovely? I like that cottage look they give. Having grown up with somebody who's got some disability, you know, it's hard. It's hard when things aren't made to be inclusive for you. It just takes a lot of work and a lot of effort, and not everybody has the personal resources to be able to build raised beds at a waistline. I mean, they're just more expensive, and to be able to have a community that's doing this and providing this for people is so amazing. I just love it so much. Can I take a picture of this?
Sure.
It's 5 years.
You want some?
No, thank you. it looks good. I just.
Are you looking for herbs?
So just check in with Jenny here and Eliana, and I'll get you squared away and get you your food truck tickets and all that good stuff.
So the tea, would you just...
Okay guys, my heart is so happy right now because I got some rosemary and I got some sage. I'm gonna plant these in my garden, but look how cute the containers are. So I'll do something for my kitchen. My cats get into everything, so. And then I got some Mexican tarragon and a beefsteak tomato, which I've never grown before because I normally just do heirlooms, but you know, you hear so much about them, I figured this would be the best time to try. And then a few more. I got a Roma tomato and one other form of tomato. I need to remind myself what I got. So I'm feeling really good about getting up early, making the drive in town, getting to learn more about this amazing organization that's doing some really cool stuff. I'm looking forward to exploring if there's other things that, you know, we can do to support them or help get the word out. And if you are local, for sure check them out. If you're not local, maybe see if there's something like this where you are. So thanks so much for watching and being with us today, and have fun gardening, and make sure you tell us where you are and who you are and what you love to grow, because we love keeping up with you guys. We love learning about you. We love learning what you're doing and learning from you. So we appreciate all of you who take the time to leave us a comment, drop us a note. We answer every single one, and we hope you have a great weekend. Bye.